All right, good morning, brothers and sisters. Good morning to each and every one of you. 4 something in the morning, NYC time. I'm on my way to do this job detail. Van Wyck heading to the city, man. Money making Manhattan. I need to find out the conjecture. Okay, thank you. I need to find out if that congestive pricing has gone into effect yet, because it's supposed to go into effect this month. And I think it was supposed to be the 17th and 18th, but I gotta Google it and check it out. Anyway, just wanted to give y'all a quick shout out. The early bird catches the worm. And as always, we give a major shout out to the Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ. He's the Lord of my life. Make sure you guys, when you drive, my grandmother used to say this prayer about the prayer about traveling mercies. Traveling mercies. Right now, you see I'm in the 3rd lane, which is the fast lane, which you go fast in. But you better be careful. I'm coming into a work zone. So NYC now have an issue. You see, as far as the speed limit with a work zone, now they're putting cameras on the work zone. So you better make sure. I don't know what's the grace period, how much you're able to go over the work zone, but they're going to have cameras on the work zone. I don't know if they implemented it yet, but it is going into effect. So if you have a work zone for safety of the workers, you got to do the speed limit at hand. I don't know if they give you 5 or 10 miles per hour over, or 5 miles per hour over, or if they don't give you a grace period at all. I would not take a chance. And these cameras, I don't know if they're going to be visible or they're going to be hidden, but that's what they said is going into effect. So, and once again, if you get tickets on your car, the best thing you do if you're in the NYC area, punch up parking NYC, punch up your plate, and let you know how many tickets you have. And also, when it tells you how many tickets you have, you are fine unless you're over $350. If you're over $350, that is in judgment, not $350 in general. $350, that's in judgment. You're liable. You're in the danger zone to getting booted. You don't want to get a boot. They got the new boots, like I did on a prior video, in which they put the boot on the glass shield. And they supposed to start it out here in Queens. They ain't implement that yet. And also, I'm speaking to y'all now. I'm in the slow lane. This is the lane you go slow in. The middle lane is the middle. So, once again, as far as the tickets is concerned, if you're not in $350 in judgment, and you could be $500, $600, $700 worth of tickets. See how that guy's speeding? He's doing his thing. He got the Infinity. Traveling mercies to him. And like I said, always stay prayed up. I think the reason why I don't get in no accidents, no flats, not just because I'm a great driver. And I say that in humility because matter of fact, let me not say a great driver. Let me say it a more experienced driver, because I've been driving 30 plus years. I've been driving before I've been able to even have a license. In that regard, the police is going after somebody. He's on the other side here, DT. Anyway, back in the slow lane, because I'm communicating with you guys. So, with that being said, you can have 500, 600, 700. As long as it's not in judgment, you're okay. But if it's in judgment, you got to get it below $350. It could be $350 exact. If it's $1 over, they will come to boot your car. Do not take a chance getting a boot. If you got to pay $10, $25 a week, whatever you got to do, you could pay. You don't have to pay all the tickets in entirety. You have to, but you could pay it weekly, bi-weekly, whatever you do. Do not get over $350. So you put yourself in danger of getting a boot, because trust me, you don't want that problem, especially at nighttime. I was working at a spot one time, and a young lady, she's partying, and next thing you know, 2 o'clock in the morning, the marshals came, put a boot on her car. I alerted her. She was screaming everything. Haven't seen her come to the spot since. She had a nice little Benz, and they told her she owed $1,500 in tickets. Now, a friend that was with her, he got all arrogant, like, yeah, that's nothing. But the problem, here's the thing, and it probably wasn't nothing. Not to say it was. But the problem with that was that it happened around 2, 3 in the morning. So you thinking you call up, you get the code, you can take the boot off. No, you got to wait till they open up to get the code. So they probably didn't open up to around 6, 7 o'clock. So therefore, they had to take an Uber back home, get whatever little rest, come back, and take care of the car over there. Get their car back from there.
In half a mile.
Who wants to go through that? And then not only here's the other thing that happens. Not only you get the boot taken off, you could do a payment arrangement. Back then, when I got a boot in my car, this is over 10 years ago, there wasn't no payment arrangement. You had to pay whatever tickets you owe, the boot, and you had to pay the sheriff fee. And after you do that, another thing you had to do, we're in another work zone here, as you can see. And another thing, you got to drop the boot off. Ain't that something? It's not like you could just leave the boot there. You got to drop the boot off. So, if you don't, it's considered a federal offense. If anything you do to try to tamper with these boots, you know, people break them, people find ways, even on YouTube, to take them off. These people are not stupid. You know, before you used to be able to, all right, you know what, I got a boot on my tire. Man, I just jack up my car, take the tire off, put another tire on. Cause you can't afford to do it, no problem. They made it set up where they put it on the wheel locks, but you can't even do that. Well, people figured out how to do that, take care of that. So now they got the new boot in place where they put on your windshield. And if you try to alter that, an alarm goes off, a notification to the precinct goes, yo, these people are not stupid. And I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna figure out a way on how to take it off, whatever, and it is gonna be up here at some point, no problem. But once again, when you alter these things, it's a federal offense. Why go through that? Why put yourself in a position where you probably have to go to jail, you pay this crazy fine, you know? So to avoid all that, just be mindful of your tickets. You know, be mindful. I'll just say this. Every week you should be, if you're a person that normally get tickets on your car, if you're in Brooklyn and the parking out there is crazy, only thing you got to do is use, like I said, the NYC, the Parking NYC app. All you got to do, Parking NYC, you punch up the app, and the app punch up your plate, and it will let you know how many tickets you got. That's all you have to do. And you can take it from there. You can pay the ticket online, half, whatever. You know, please do not give the city, and shout out to NYC. You worked hard for your money. There's other bills, other things you want to do for your money. Shout out to the Holy Apostle. He taught us, man, don't put all your money to paying bills. You know? But when you get tickets on your car, that takes away money that could be in your pocket. So you want to be mindful of that. Another thing I want to encourage y'all to do, right? Because everybody's jetting past me. It's cool. You know? If your car get damaged on the road, right? You got potholes, craters, sunkens, whatever. Get your car fixed. Take a picture of the area, or go back to the area. Take a picture of what part of the area probably hurt your car, your axles, your tire rods, etc. in that aspect, you know? Even your engine, anytime the road is not smooth and you got issues, man, you got to take it to a mechanic. Make sure you take a picture of the area that you believe that caused the damage with your car. And another thing, what you can do, when you do that, you go to the mechanic, you get a receipt. You send the receipt in. Take a copy of it. You send a receipt into the controller's office. You will be reimbursed. The city will reimburse you because of infrastructure. Now our President Joe Biden, passed the infrastructure deal. So if there's issues with the road, you know, and it caused damage to your car, you will get reimbursed. I just don't know the time frame, how long it takes. You're dealing with the city. You know, that's one. Number two, if there's issue, if there's issues with the road, again, you know, you can always call 311. If it's potholes, they'll check it out within 15 days, and most likely they'll fill it in. If it's craters, the surface got to be repaved. The cities or the DOT is responsible to come out within 90 days, inspect the area, and they'll determine if they'll fix it right then and there. But 9 times out of 10, because of all that's going on in our society right now, with the inflation and everything, what they have given me is that, you know what, this is a part of a city project that we let me just say pretty much it's not going to get resolved right then and there unless it's an absolute sinkhole where somebody can actually get hurt. You know what they'll do, the 311 operator, because you'll call 311, the 311 operator will connect you to 911. You'll be on the phone with the police or the fire department. They'll send somebody out to, to close off the area, and then they'll have it fixed immediately. But if you see, and why I don't know if that's the police or school safety that just passed or traffic agent. But if that's not the case, they're gonna tell you it's a part of an ongoing process because they got a lot of roads they gotta fix, and because of the budget cuts in NYC, a lot of these things are cut, so therefore it's not gonna get fixed expediently, which it normally would get fixed. So you have to bear with that. But the potholes, they come out right away, 15 days. If not, you give them your name, and you don't have to. You can remain anonymous. What you can do, you can just give them an email. They'll email you or text you with the progress at hand. And then after 15 days, if depending on what area you're in, you can just drive and see if the thing has been repaired. If it's not repaired, just follow up again. All of this, I'm gonna tell you again, all of this requires you and I not to be lazy, you and I not to procrastinate about it. Procrastination is a form of laziness. Only thing you're doing is following up. You're making a phone call. You and I may not want to do that, but once again, we pay a lot of money for our vehicles. I don't care if you got a hoopty. A hoopty is even more expensive to maintain than a brand new car, because you're going to have more issues on that regard. So that's what you want to do. Don't procrastinate. Get the job done. So it not only make your vehicle safer, other vehicles safer. It saves you and I unnecessary time and money that we will have to spend as far as further repairs. And the only thing that's going to cost you is it's not going to cost you no more than 5 to 10 minutes. In that regard. So brothers and sisters, I just wanted to do this quick video with each and every one of you. Like I said, I'm on my way to a job site, and also too, all my security guards, right? Be professional. When you're working at a job site, I know they said weed is legal. Don't go to the job site smelling like weed. Try not to smoke, minimize the snacks, utilize that stuff if you're getting a break. Utilize that stuff on your break time, not the smoking. Because I've worked with a brother one time. Okay, that was a school safety agent car, so he or she's on their way to the school. I worked with a brother one time. We was working at the Amazon store in Red Hook, Brooklyn. Shout out to them. And the brother wound up getting fired because the people on Amazon, mind you, he was on his break. People on Amazon, he came back in, he was smelling like weed. I guess he smoked weed on his break. Listen, just because you're able to smoke weed, that is still unprofessional. No client, job site wants you to be able to come back smelling like weed. If you got a medical condition, maybe, I don't even know if that's an exception, but if you got a medical condition and everything, my advice to you is make sure you Lysol, spray yourself down. It's unprofessional you come to work smelling like weed, and I don't even like the smell on cigarettes on people. So if I'm a person, and I hire people as well, I'm a liaison, and I know people like smoking weed for whatever purpose, whatever reason. If you're working for me and I say you smell like weed, I'm first of all, I'm gonna send you home, and I'm not gonna hire you again. It's unprofessional. No major client wants you to smell like weed, especially when you're dealing with customer service. It's not a good look and everything. Do that on your off. Do that on your off time, not before coming to work. Do it after the work, and when you do it after work, you make sure you do it where you're not around the area. And also, guys, if you're working a job, just make sure, you're not hanging around that job. If the job is over, go home. Don't put yourself in a position where you'll possibly get fired, reported, whatever. It's not worth it.
Turn left on 47th Avenue.
back to the subject at hand. As y'all can see, y'all heard all the bumpy, the infrastructure wasn't all that good. The roads is bumpy, little sunkens, craters, and all that stuff. Be mindful of that. I even put in a strip of additional lights on the bottom of my car. Now, because of over the years, the wear and tear, my lights went out. Now I got to put a new strip down. And I put that down on the bottom of my light and bottom of my car, additional lights, is so I can see the infrastructure even clearer, so I can see the potholes that's ahead of me, in front of me. Excuse me. Well, same thing. But the problem with that at times, say for example, if it's raining or snow, unless you know the area, I would advise you, if it's snowing, drive very slowly, because the pothole could be covered to the point where you can't see it. Next thing you know, you driving fast, and then you just boom. Now you got to get you a used tire, your axle, your tire rod, your strut damaged. You got to fix that right away. So to avoid all that, be mindful, be slow when you're driving, especially in the snow. Trust me. And listen, if you got to get a tire, I always encourage to get a new tire. But if you got to get a used tire, you have a used tire just for a spare temporarily. Do not be driving around with used tires. Now, I know a lot of us tell, oh man, I can't afford a brand new tire, the 100. Trust me, it's worth you spending that money, because a used tire is what it is. It's used. And based on if you're in the NYC area and you're not a good driver, you just like, all right, you constantly hit potholes and stuff, that tire will pop too. No problem. You'll get a flat on that easy. That's a used tire. I don't care how much quote unquote good tread it have on it. That tire it will not endure as much as a new tire. Tires I have on my car is fairly new. I got like 2 Michelins and a couple Pirellis and everything like that. Normally I have all Michelin, so it's mismatched right now because my other 2 Michelin, and I had to change them. So my tire guy, shout out to my man Will. He said, "Yo man, just put the Pirellis on." So that's what I did. And I got other Pirellis in my house with my rims. I got to get my rims and stuff fixed, recoated and everything, and then take it from there. And it's a great time to do it, but I understand we got challenges financially. I can do it, but with all the other stuff I got going on with Prime, it wouldn't make any logical sense to do it just now. So I gotta, that's cosmetic. I gotta take care of the priority stuff first. Right now I'm on a 59th Street bridge headed to the city. Man, when I used to work for FedEx, shout out to them, I used to be up and down this bridge all the time, going back and forth to the city. Right now I'm driving, it look like I'm slow because I'm on the Eon mode. The Eon mode saves you gas on a car from what they say, but it also takes away power. Only time I take the Eon mode off is when I'm on a highway, if I gotta get to where I have to get to. So I'm on a 59th Street bridge, aka the Mayor Koch Bridge. Oh, they put dividers up here now. They didn't have that before. And it's good they put dividers. They need to do that, and I probably shout out to Senator James Saunders. They probably need to do that on the street, and I'm a film as well. When I go to Far Rockaway, Queens one time, how they need to put a divider on this street on Brookville Boulevard that runs into Rockaway Boulevard, aka Snake Road. The Jackie Robinson didn't have dividers before, but because of the accidents, they put dividers, not cones and stuff like you see here. They put an actual divider like you see there. So we need that on the Snake Road. But listen, it's not going to happen unless you and I report it. And it can't just be one person. It got to be more than one. Sign a petition. It can be done. So if you have issues with the roads and everything like that, always call up 311. If you need major work done as far as like having dividers on certain streets, and I even believe certain streets that's two-way, because I'm from Brooklyn, they shouldn't even be two-way. They should be one-way. But with that, that's a major project, meaning that you can't get that done by yourself. You need more people calling in, or a petition so the city could get on the ball and take care of that. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, I'm almost there to the job site. Everyone have a blessed and wonderful day. Safety, safety, safety. You know, I'm gonna say something which Curtis Jackson says. Shout out to 50. You know, if you get into a conflict with someone, if it is not worth you hurting them to the point where you have to take their life, avoid conflict by any means, as the Honorable Minister Malcolm X say, by any means necessary. You know, it's not worth it. You don't have the jail, you don't have the bail money, you don't have the lawyer money. It's not worth it. Do not go to jail by any means necessary. And also, too, don't put yourself in a position to get yourself hurt. Especially if you got a family. People, if you're the breadwinner, you're the husband, whatever, you got kids, man, you better eliminate your pride. You better look at the bigger picture. Your children need you. Men, I'm talking to the men. Your children need you. Moms, your children need you. But to the men, your children need you. You know, avoid conflict by any means necessary. You know, it's not like back in the days you fight a person and you live to fight the next day. Those are not the times we living in. People will hurt you and they will kill you with no remorse. You know, and a lot of people will do that and claim they have mental illness and get away with it. You see in NYC with the migrant situation, that is what's going on. People are attacking cops and getting away with it. Who you think you are? You're no except, and you're less than a cop in that fashion as far as you have less rights in that regard. You know, the cops obviously have more authority. You know, they're more protected. But if people could assault police officers and get away with it, and that police officers, law officials, people that enforce the law and get away with it, what do you think is going to happen to you and I? So, in closing, avoid conflict by any means necessary. And I relate that as far as driving as well. You know, I used to struggle with road rage. I used to get outside ready to fight. Do not do that. Especially if you're in other states like Atlanta where they have the right to carry. If you put yourself in a position, you have road rage. If you from NYC, you go to all these other states, you better know the laws in that aspect. If you try to do that road rage out there like you do out here, Atlanta, Florida, people will have rights to carry guns. And if they feel threatened, they can shoot you and get away with it because it's a stand your ground. These are stand your ground states, meaning they can defend themselves if they feel their life is threatened. So to avoid all that, and you know, if you didn't get into an accident, yeah, it may cause anxiety, and you know, some people cut you off, especially out here in NYC. You know, humble yourself, let it go. It happens. I don't struggle with road rage anymore because of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I look at it like this: when I drive, it's like a video game to me. It's a part of the game. You know, we used to play this game on Sega called Outrun and everything. Shout out to Sega. This is the first Sega, not Genesis. Sega Genesis was not the first Sega. There was a Sega that was before Genesis. You know, Genesis was the second Sega. Then you had Dreamcast, etc. But the point is, there was a game called Outrun, and you know, it was a fun game. So that's how I look at driving now. I love driving, and it's like a video game to me. You know, you just got to be careful because in a video game, you get into an accident, you flip over, you know, you get a second life and everything. You can come back and play the game over. Well, in real life, that's not the case. So, with that being said, brothers and sisters, you know, once again, have a blessed, have a fruitful and prosperous day. More content on the way. And shout out to all my subscribers, all my new subscribers. Peace and blessings and grace be upon you all. All right? Safety, safety, safety. Peace.